just going to keep practicing some Venn diagram illustrations. Some dogs can swim. All right, so what would our sets be? I have a set of dogs, and I've got to have a set of animals that can swim, but are they this? I mean, are all animals that can swim dogs? No, but there's got to be some sort of overlap between them. So these would be swimming dogs, or swimmers. So where would I find dogs that can swim? They would be in the overlap between the two circles. We're going to look at a two-way table here. Okay, so let's first start by taking a look at what the numbers tell us, and then we'll talk about how we can sketch a Venn diagram illustrating this. So let's start with babies born with low birth weight and smoker mother. So low birth and mom smokes. Okay, how many babies are in that category? There's 18 of them. Let's go with normal birth and smoking mothers. There are 132 of them. Let's go low birth and non-smoking mothers, and there are 14 of those. And then let's go normal birth and non-smoke, and there are 186 of those. So that's that first part, is understanding what the numbers tell us. Okay, so then we're going to get a picture of a Venn diagram. So we've got to have one set of smoking mothers, and we have to have, we'll base it off of the low birth weight. We have to have another set of low birth. Okay, so we're going to talk about what numbers we can stick where. So based on the four categories, the four types, and again, you can use different categories. We could have gone with non-smoking mothers and normal birth weight. We just had to pick one. So 18 would be low birth and smoker mothers. So that 18 would go right there in the overlap between the two. Let's see, then I want normal birth and non-smoker. Let's see, normal birth and non-smoker is actually outside of our circle of influence here. So that's 186 of those fit there. Then I want smoking mothers, low birth and non-smoker. So it means it's got to be outside the smoker bubble, but inside the low birth bubble. So that would be that number right there, 14. And then I need normal births I need normal birth with mothers who smoke, and that would be the 132, would be that one right there. Okay, so what does all of this mean at the end of the day? What kind of summary statements can we make? Well, one thing we can do is we can look at overall categories. We can make a statement about how many babies are born with low birth weight. So there's low birth, and that would be the 18 plus the 14, which is 32. So 32 babies born with low weight. We can make a statement about smokers. So there are mothers who smoke. There are 132 plus 18 of those. So what is that? 150. So we can do some summary data like that. Let's see. We can see that normal birth weight babies are much more common than low birth weight babies amongst non-smokers and smokers. Smokers had a lower proportion of normal and a higher proportion of low birth weights. So at the end of the day, what does all this data suggest? It says smoking while you're pregnant is not a good idea. That's what it really suggests. Okay, so let's take a look at another example. So let's take a second and read this. It's a little more complicated one. Human blood is often classified according to three antigens. A, B, and RH are present or absent. Either it's there or it's not. Blood type is stated first in terms of antigens A and B. Blood containing only A is type A. Blood containing only type B is type B. Blood containing both A and B is called type AB. And blood containing neither A or B is called type O. The presence or absence of RH is indicated by adding the word positive or negative in the symbol. So the data below represents 8 different blood types, and we're going to draw a Venn diagram describing this. Okay, so we got to think about what would our overall categories be here. So it's possible for a person to have type A blood, and it's possible for someone to have type B blood, so there's got to be an overlap. And then it's also possible for someone to not be A or B, and that would be O. Okay, we're going to come in and add a little bit more clarity here. Thinking about the most specific of this, of all 3 categories. So in order for someone to be AB, let's see, have AB in them, it's either AB positive or AB negative. Well, the only 2 places where they overlap would be this region right here, and so we'll say that that's AB positive and this is AB negative. And so there are 3% in AB positive, and AB negative is 1%. Okay, so now that we got that established, let's kind of stick with the pattern here. So let's see, let's call this one A negative and B negative, which means if they're, let's see, B positive would be here, and we'll call this one A positive. And then we're going to have to do another clarifier. So if they're not A and B, that means they got to be O. So we'll call this one O positive, and we'll say outside is O negative. All right, so then we can start filling in some of our numbers. So A positive would be the 34%. B positive would be the 8%. AB positive we already got. O positive would be the 35. A negative, so the 8% goes there. B negative would be 2%. AB negative we already got. And O positive, we'll call that 9. So there would be a Venn diagram detailing the same data set that we just were looking at.